is going? Oh, okay, I think I got it. Okay, so you know how it was really odd how we got that book 3 trailer all of a sudden, and then the book 3 premiere was like a week later, and then also that very generous number of episodes we've been getting per week, but then also remember those episodes that got leaked by the Mexican dub, which we, as perfectly good, law-abiding, decent people, did not immediately track down? Well, it turns out those events are related. According to the Forbes article, Legend of Korra Book 3 wasn't actually supposed to premiere until the fall, and they weren't even going to show a trailer until Comic-Con. Unfortunately, because of some substantial leaks, including a fan-made trailer, they had to improvise, and so they went ahead and burst out their premiere in the middle of summer. And as a result, despite that many of us would say that the new season is a significant improvement over the clusterfuck that was Season 2, the ratings for Book 3 have really not been doing well. Yeah, all those people who said they would abandon Korra after Book 2, but more likely the reason for the steep dive is the hasty release without a period of hype to build up to it. You know, also premiering in the summer. And as a result, Nickelodeon has started to pull episodes from the schedule. As far as I know, we will only get one episode this Friday, and then we don't know when the rest of the episodes will be released. But important clarification, this is all speculation on behalf of the Forbes article. The creators have not confirmed any of this as fact. So people going to Comic-Con this weekend, well, first of all, good luck. And if you manage to see the Korra panel, tell me exactly what the creators say about this. But at the very least, we do know that the Season 3 season has been completed, and Season 4 is cemented and already in production. So it's not like at this point we're really losing any content. We're just kind of going on an undeclared hiatus. Well, that's that. Anyway, here's my top 3 impressions from episodes 6 and 7. Number 1, oh my god, how evil are you trying to make the Earth Queen? There's giving us a one-dimensionally evil antagonist to root against, and then there's trying to merge Umbridge with Joffrey. I mean, she eats baby bison steaks? She might have eaten Bosco? Does she also drown turtle ducks and whip orphans for shits and giggles? I mean, yeah, Ozai burned his kid, but she might have eaten Bosco! Number 2, it seems like a common theme in both series are parents are not perfect. I mean, yeah, but even good parents. And that's not something you see in a lot of young fiction, especially when 2 of them are characters that you've known since they were children. But as in reality, it is nigh impossible to be a perfect parent, and equally as likely to keep your own personal baggage away from your parenting. And frankly, it makes perfect sense. As a result of having a strict upbringing, Toph had a distaste for rules, and didn't care to enforce them even with her own children. Then again, she did become a police officer. And Aang would have been very fixated on the only one of his children who could airbend and keep the legitimacy of his culture going. Though, seriously, private vacations when non-airbending acolytes exist? Aang, that was kind of cold. Number 3, really? That was it? Mommy didn't put your sister in timeout, and that's what you've been so miffy about? So the follow-up to the Metal Clan wasn't quite as satisfying as I'd hoped. But I'm not saying that this isn't a good character development for Lin. I really did enjoy the backstory with Toph. And that backstory does make a lot of sense, kinda sorta. It's just odd that this would play out making Sue the more dynamic character of the two because she's right. Lin is the one who didn't change. Usually don't play out those kind of reveals where the character you're more familiar with is the one that's in the wrong, and that's really interesting. It's just a little anticlimactic considering all the buildup, which isn't to say we don't understand Lin's actions. Very likely this is the result of her being jealous that her sister has come so far and likely ashamed of her own stubbornness. Heck, in the flashback, we totally side with Lin. Then, I mean, she had every right to be pissed. It just seems really overkill for her to be pissed about that for over 30 years. And at first I was a little surprised by Toph's actions. I mean, for being somebody who hates rules, she became a police officer. But then again, she does like being in charge and bossing others around, so that makes sense. Plus, her general rule disregard does actually make her tearing up the report not too far-fetched. I do wonder how and if this will change Lin's general attitude in the future, considering...
Good morning.
Did anyone else think that was really creepy? I mean, it just has such a one of us vibe about it. Oh, and the thought from last time I was meaning to ask, where did Sue get all of the money to build a metal utopia? Seriously. To shift focus a little, these episodes really have been doing wonders for Bolin. His struggles with metal bending is probably one of his most endearing elements to date. I mean, it's certainly the one that we can relate to the best. I mean, he admires Toph. Even his budding romance has potential. Opal kinda doesn't have a lot to go with right now, aside from being kind of adorable, but at least their interactions are generally straightforward and supportive and devoid of any of that contrived romantic drama, which is a nice change. Romance has always been involved in Last Airbender, but it's never been the focus or the entire purpose of a character, or been a significant distraction from the overall story. It's always just kind of been in the periphery, which I think is its strength. I mean, yeah, fan bases thrive on romance, but that's exactly it. Fan bases can create all of the romantic drama for you. You don't have to waste any of your actual showtime with it. And in the first season of Korra, it seemed like the entire purpose of Mako and Asami especially was just to be the romantic interest and foil. And then we had to have an entire episode devoted to that mess. We've had a couple of romances hinted this season, but because none of them have made any of the characters look like complete jackasses or distracted us from the story, so it hasn't pissed anyone off yet. You know, unless you were a Bolin-esque fan. You know what's also been good these past couple episodes? Korra. It's amazing how much more enjoyable your character is when they're actively trying to do something constructive and positive, as opposed to reacting impulsively to all of your own baggage. I mean, I'm not going to bring up harmonic conversion again, but seriously. But what we have here is Korra actually trying to be the Avatar, but without any extreme external pressure. The emphasis on what an Avatar is supposed to be is a legit burden, and frankly, it's how most 17-year-olds with the powers of God would probably act, but we need a break from that. I love to see her giving advice, learning how to metal bend, acting on behalf of other people's problem for a change. Meanwhile, man, I really want Zahir, etc. to do something. I mean, I know they keep showcasing them to help us remember that they exist, to get familiar with them and grow to fear them, but despite all the awesome displays of bending, I'm really starting to get bored with a lot of their scenes until we learn more about them. I mean, have a flashback, have them meet Korra already. I need something else to keep me invested. I know I could play the speculation game. Ooh, are they evil? Are they not evil? Are they gonna kill Korra? Are they actually gonna help Korra? 'Cause you know what? I'm just gonna wait and see. Next episode. I don't know, how much do you enjoy watching Tenzin having a mental breakdown? Tenzin learning how to be a good teacher has been an ongoing theme all throughout Korra, and kinda just like Korra, seems to suffer from being too consumed by his own mindset to reach to his students on their own level. This is great for his identity, it's great for his development, but it's not exactly fun to watch Tenzin screaming at people. So just on that note, it's not going to be one of my favorite episodes, but this story does allow for some great character moments from other characters who've been lacking it, including Jinora, Bumi, Kai, and oh yeah, Tenzin's wife. Remember, she's a person in the series, not just a baby vessel, also possibly an equalist, but a human conversation where we actually learn something about her. This was a really great moment. And naturally, it was nice to see the new airbenders come around and actually acknowledge that something Tenzin told them was useful. I guess kind of like Kai's story arc. Yes, development is always good, but at the same time, I'm glad we kind of got that over with. And can I just say, the bad guys are poachers that imprison children in their cages? Did we teleport to the 1980s? Also...
Oh! Anyone besides Otaku?
Really? Seriously? Wow, this is the first time that the Nickelodeon episode schedule hasn't ended in the middle of a two-parter. I honestly don't know what to expect next episode, except...
She's with the Metal Clan.
Dun dun dun. But seriously, we're gonna learn what the deal is with these guys soon, right? Right? So what have you guys thought of Book 3 so far? Keep sending me ideas for stuff to review, and you stay awesome, Animaniacs!